So, hi everybody, Craig Hanson here, and welcome to my video. Check out the website, craighansongolf.com. There's the chance for online lessons. I'm training people from all around the world, and plenty of free information on the site. So, we're having a look at Jordan Spieth. We're looking at a 50-meter pitch shot. We're going to look at some different angles. We're going to have a look at his technique. He's obviously a great pitcher of the golf ball, and I think that we can learn some things here. A couple of things go perhaps against the grain of what we've been taught. The first thing that I really like about the swing on the left side is that he's obviously setting up parallel to his target line. So if we run a line up through the ball, get it through the shaft for about 88 degrees. We'll pop another. What you can do is when you're practicing is pop in a little bit of a tour stick here, making sure it's parallel to your target line. You can see that the shoulders are slightly open. That's one of the hallmarks and traits that I see of great pitchers. After doing some of these lessons, I've done about 20,000 lessons. I've never seen in my entire time somebody that pitches good that aims right. So it adds to steepness and it adds to all sorts of extra difficulties in the swing. So just make sure that when you start that you're aiming straight or slightly left of your target. Now, the first thing I see when I look at this swing is just the plane of it. Okay, so when we have a look, we see how the club splits up right up through the right forearm. Now, it's a small swing, and obviously it's possible to be overplaying or underplaying and still manage to hit this shot, but it makes it more difficult than it's really necessary. So when I say plane, you can see that the club's going up right up through the right forearm. That's a good guide to look at, and we can also see that the club head is pointing up the toe of the club towards 12 o'clock. Now, that's always a good thing. It can be a little bit closed. And at times we see people a little bit open, but somewhere in around this area, we don't want any extreme positions, that'll affect the face too much. Now, when he comes down through the shot here, what you'll see that the plane slightly flattens. Now, this plane now, the club is pointing at the ball, and as we get further into it, we'll see now that the plane points now on the outside of the ball. Now, when I see a lot of people hitting pitch shots at this position, I see the shaft pointing between the feet and the ball. And this is a problem area as far as I'm concerned. I see people chunking shots, and then the subconscious fear of the chunk is obviously the blade, and from there we can lose confidence and get into all sorts of different issues and problems. So getting your entry into the correct position is paramount for this shot, and there's different ways to go about it. Definitely holding the angle or creating angle in the right wrist and other attributes that help to flatten the plane. Now when we get through the ball and move up into this position here, what's interesting is when we see the face of the club, we see that it's actually pointed over the toe of the club to 2 o'clock. Now this is something that you cannot do when you aim right at the target. And aiming right at the target will also add to this shaft tipping over and steepening and getting itself into all sorts of different problems. From the side here where we're looking at, we probably see the monitor's in the way, but I'm guessing that the ball's here. Interesting that the head sort of tilted a little bit on the side, and the middle point of the head is actually, get rid of that line behind the ball. But like many great players, he'll make an adjustment there, and he'll straighten his eye level now and move his head forwards. You see that a lot with good chippers and pitchers of the ball. You'll see a weight transference and even the head moving forwards. And we see now that the middle spot of the head is in front of the ball. When we look back, look at the backswing here. There is good wrist break. A lot of people talk about using absolutely no wrist hinge on this shot, but we definitely see that from the extension from the left forearm, there's been quite a bit of set and wrist break in there. And when we're moving through the shot, we can see that in this position here that the left arm, the shaft was in one line, but you can see the amount of wrist break that he's put in there. Now this right wrist will be held leading into impact. One of the characteristics that helps flattening the plane. Losing this angle will help to steepen the plane. You can see the angle held in the right wrist there. When the hands are over the opposite of the right leg, we can see that he's around 8 degrees, which is that's a big angle in the right wrist. Okay, so when his hands are opposite the left thigh, or a little bit straighter, a little bit further, sorry, we can see he's got the left arm and the shaft in one line, still holding the angle in the right wrist, and this is what I really like about his action into here. Now, what's interesting, there's been always a lot of talk about practicing and keeping a towel under the arms for connection. Now, one of the disadvantages of that is that it can actually cause some flipping. So if you try this move where the left arm actually separates and leaves the chest, it really helps us to retain angle in the right wrist and helps to prevent flipping, which of course will affect your angle of attack, and the club can bottom out too early, causing fats and fins and also too much face rotation. So anytime you see somebody getting this left arm to move away from the body, and we see that the left arm's slightly bent, this will also help to help create an angle in the right wrist and also to stop face rotation. So when you get round on this other side here, you can see it even more. You see the head move, he moves forwards and into the shot. And you see the angle here. If we make an extension from the right forearm back into the shaft, I mean that's a big angle. And through here, the left arm bent and leaving the side. And this guy's one of the best pitchers in the world. So check that out. Give it a try. Go through some of the things. If you have any trouble, send your swing through or send your pitching through, or have a look on an online lesson, and we'll take it from there. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.